Welcome, gang. Thanks for joining me today. I thought today I'm doing a free healthy eating challenge this week that this Yoga Nidra might be focused about bringing in affirmations and things that we'd like to create and bring into our lives. So you'll notice that you'll hear some affirmations about possibilities, about affirming what things we would like to bring in and opening ourselves up to that. Yoga Nidra is a great time for us to be able to do this. It's when our brain is more open, that window between the subconscious and the conscious becomes wider. They say most of our lives are run on the subconscious level, that our conscious thoughts are so minimal, like 10% out of all of the thoughts, all these programs that run ourselves. So when we're thinking about bringing in positive affirmations and changing our programming, it's easier to do that when we are in our Yoga Nidras. It lifts that veil, if you will, for the unconscious mind. So to set up for today, let's find our way to something comfortable, perhaps on the floor with some blankets, some bolsters. I'll be sitting upright for this time, but I'd like you to lay down, turn off any lights, turn off any distractions, silence your phones or your computers. Maybe put a sign on the door, 30 minutes silence time. They can be more quiet around the house. We dedicate this time, these 30 minutes to ourselves. Give it as a gift to ourselves. So as we set up, just laying back to what's comfortable, set up however you're most comfortable. I like some blankets, some pillows, nice little elevation of the spine so that the chin is higher than our heart level, or roughly our head is not back below the heart level. That'll help to get us into the right state. We can have hands on belly or hands by our sides. We can have our feet out or crossed with our feet together. But something that is setting up so that we don't have to move. We can nestle in, if you will, do a little shake and a wiggle as we need. Relaxing, letting go. Closing our eyes. Breathing deeply in through the nose and out through the nose. Feeling the belly rise and fall with each breath. Being grateful for this ability to breathe. It is a gift. We take it for granted so often. And to just notice the beauty in the breath as we inhale. I can bring in some lightness, some freshness to our thoughts, to our body. And as we exhale, let ourselves surrender even more into the pillows, the blankets. As we've been here for a few moments, just check in. Do we need something underneath our knees or something covering our toes? Making those adjustments now so that we won't have to make them later. Sometimes we don't even realize that maybe the heels, while comfortable now, might become a hot spot. So I like to pad underneath the feet. Maybe we don't treat ourselves to luxuriating. So how could we make this more luxurious for us? Taking the tongue to the roof of the mouth and just pressing gently across the whole tongue, or what's comfortable here, to the roof of the mouth, and notice how that can relax through the jaw as we part the back teeth and close the mouth. It's like a natural relaxation position. Even notice a little gentle pressure of the tongue to the roof of the mouth. You might feel a connection up through to the brow or up through the head. This can be hugely calming, or just relaxing the muscles around the lower face, the neck. So if you have any tension around the neck or the shoulders or the jaw, then let's practice this here. Just placing the tongue to the roof of the mouth. Perhaps we can fill the whole tongue, and then parting the teeth slightly in the back. Allow ourselves to explore sensation within the body, the mind, the heart. Feeling perhaps the opposites. Perhaps there's somewhere in the body that it feels warm. Focusing on that warm area or the warm sensation somewhere within the body. And then switching that thought to focus on something cool within the body, or cool in the atmosphere around us, the environment. Maybe a gentle breeze across our skin. We can play back and forth between those two, finding something warm and finding something cool. Could be the same thing. Just playing with the opposites here. Or going ahead and staying with the one that's more pleasant. Then starting to play with the opposites. First finding heavy. What feels heavy within the body? Focusing on that area. And then focusing on what is light. Can we find some lightness within the body? And then perhaps playing between those, going back and forth between the light and weight and the heaviness within the body. And starting to play with the balance. Even with our eyes closed, sensing light as an illumination. And then feeling or looking for darkness. What do we sense that is dark without light? Both are positive. The idea of brightness shines, showing us where to go. The idea of darkness without light to let us to go inward. Now just relaxing the entire body, letting go of thought, letting go of what is good or bad, and just allowing what is. So no thoughts. There's thoughts that come by without judging them, let them float on. Now taking our time to focus on thoughts that do bubble up around our habits, our patterns, perhaps different than our desired outcome. What is our deepest desire? Overall health and well-being. Without judgment, letting that bubble of that thought come up. I'm going to start to see our life scripts or our motivation or the behaviors that we choose to have that may be in dissonance to our ultimate goal, whatever it may be, if it's health and well-being. Letting go of the critical mind, the place between our conscious and our subconscious. Sometimes the critical mind filters new information, protecting from changing old programs. With our conscious mind, we try to find logic and reason and decision and willpower. But that's such a small part of our programming. Some say between 10 to 12% of our mind is our conscious mind. And the rest, 85 to 90%, is our subconscious. We have programs that keep us from being our perfect optimal health. Here, we can start to make some of these changes. Noticing the programming as it comes up. Creating a clear vision of our goal, our beautiful health, and how it feels. Imagining how that would be right now if we had our perfect health. Benefits of that clear vision: maintaining our optimal weight, our optimal health, having positive emotions toward our health, so let's cement that feeling in, bringing in good health to ourselves. Perhaps we do activities that are not in alignment with our goals. Finding movement or eating the right foods or taking self-care time. We can ask ourselves why and see what rises up. Sometimes it is programming that has been given to us by society, our friends, our family, these expectations. We internalize these thoughts without even questioning them if they're right for us. Sometimes we do these actions that are not in alignment with our goals because of our emotions based on those thoughts. So when we're sad or angry or lonely or bored or tired, our big one that we use is stressed. But stress is just another word for fear. What are we fearful for? Why are we stressed? Or perhaps it's just out of habit. Some of our habits, like sitting in front of the TV instead of going to get some movement or finding some food because it's that right time to eat. We can reprogram this in our conscious and replace it with healthier choices and options. So letting those thoughts come up, seeing some of our programming, whether we decided on that programming or not. Perhaps playing with the opposites. Like when I am bored, what other things can we do? Perhaps listing out mentally activities that we'd like to do instead of the habits that are not in alignment with our goals. We can ask ourselves 4 simple questions anytime a thought comes up and we have an emotion that doesn't make us feel good. So let's ask these questions to ourselves first. Is this thought true? Maybe I'm mad at a coworker or a family member. They're always mean to me, or a statement like that might reside in our head, or I am alone and lonely. Is this true? Many times we'll say yes by default. Then we ask ourselves again, can it be 100% sure it's true? Is it 100% true all of the time? And we start to see the dissonance in what we tell ourselves and what is reality. No, it's not always true. Then we ask ourselves, how do I react? What happens when I believe this thought? That I am alone, or my coworker or my friends are mean. Then we ask ourselves, what would I do without this thought? The 4 questions that we should ask ourselves whenever we're feeling an emotion that isn't pleasant. Once we figured out how or who we would be without that thought, then we simply replace it with the opposite, playing with the opposites here. From I am alone to something believable. Like I have friends, I have family, I'm a friendly person and can make more friends. Or a family member or a coworker is challenging. We said they are always angry or upset. We turn that around. Say they often are friendly. It was just this one instance, or a few instances. And notice how that helps us to turn it around. Once we have these thoughts, that'll help us to feel better so that we can be in alignment with our goals, to find our way to health, alleviating stress, which is letting go of fear or finding the fear behind our actions. Helps our body to heal. Taking better actions instead of eating comfort food or mindlessly watching the next program. Or any other of the distractions we get into. So let's anchor into how we would like to feel. What is optimal health like? What is optimal well-being for ourselves? Imagine that feeling throughout the entire body and let that radiate. And for focusing on eating clean, healthy food, let's find an affirmation that works for us. Perhaps I enjoy healthy food without guilt. Or I choose to change my eating habits, and I am successful at doing so. Or I nourish my body with wonderful foods, and my body is thankful. Or we can say my body is lean, light, and healthy. Or if it's around a belief, perhaps we can say, I deserve to feel healthy and vibrant. I deserve to feel healthy and vibrant. If any of these affirmations resonated, or making one of your own to bring in your optimal health, repeating it silently a few more times, letting it wash over the body, the mind, and the heart. And starting to check back in on how we are feeling or the thoughts that are flowing through our mind. Perhaps we feel refreshed, lighter, rejuvenated. And as we're ready, we can start to deepen the breath. With this feeling inside, knowing that we can take this programming with us, having different actions that relate to our overall goals of optimum health and well-being. Every breath is a new possibility. We start to reanimate the body, wiggling a finger or a toe or nodding our head from side to side. As we're coming to the end of our practice, our time together. You can always stay if you'd like, enjoying this peaceful feeling. We're ready to conclude our time together. Let's start to bend our knees into our chest. Rolling to our side, using those hands to press ourselves up to a seated position. Without rush or hurry, we find our hands at heart center. A gentle reminder of that space inside, our true self, without all those other distractions, without the stress. That place of peace and inner knowing. So with that same reverence, I thank you for letting me lead this practice. Have a beautiful rest of the day. Namaste.